Well, hey there, YouTube. It's Petey Two Finger, and I wanted to talk about WandaVision. This is Disney Plus uh, advertising considerably. I mean, I could not escape the advertisements for WandaVision, which is this black and white sitcom. The set is very similar. The whole show is very similar to Mary Tyler Moore. The second episode, it shifted towards Bewitched and moved on to the Brady Bunch. Let's take a look. WandaVision. By the time we moved to color, I was started to feel frustrated, and with the lack of any sort of explanation. The show moves on to what appears to be a pseudo Silver Spoons set. Is that the Silver Spoon set? I think it is. And then here's a Brady Bunch picture. Look at that. That was a highlight of the show. Was seeing the backyard and the patio of the Brady Bunch. That was a dopamine release for me. I admit they really suckered me in. And ultimately, the show, it ended up, the resolution of the show is people flying in the air, shooting colored beams of light, levitating warlock and witch, firing colored balls of plasma or one solid ray. Here's a red ray on the other end. It's a different color, and then it moves this way, and it moves back. Who's more powerful? Who's the greater warlock or witch? This character is introduced. She has twins, these really annoying young boys. Here's one of them. And I'm sure WandaVision is here to stay, that this is going to be, these children will spin off and be the next Bill and Ted. Here we have, where have I seen this character before? Oops, the mentalist, and then the strong African American female who always has blue eyes. Is that a Milli Vanilli callback? Blue-eyed. Hi, I'm your friendly friend who is willing to risk my life to step in and intervene and risk my life constantly and consistently to help you. This woman, the friendly white woman, turned out to be an evil witch. There was a whole out of the blue, completely different color palette episode with blue and dark blue, purple, and black. And mind you, every one of these episodes changes color palette. But it was a very witchy and enchanted witchy episode. Filmed in a basement with this evil neighbor. Spells aplenty, lots of witchery, witchcraft. So I've got to say, if you're a fan of the Marvel Universe, if you know about the Flash Stones and the Thanos and his crown of plenty with his stones, because it went without any explanation. It was this like real campy callback to what the Generation X or the baby boomers love and know. Yeah, straight into Millennial Town with the flying, floating, zip, pew, pew, I'm shooting my fireballs of magical energy at you, and you can't kill me because I'm invisible, pew, 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 without really much explanation. There's a whole nother snarky crew of people who come from the future, who have no clue what's going on. Let's see if we can find Smart Girl. There was a smart, nerdy girl. Every one of these characters is hypersexualized. Here she is. So that was something that kind of bothered me about WandaVision. Is it's a Disney thing. It's for kids, and everybody is incredibly sexualized. These type of outfits. It's just not really children's entertainment, you know. And that's not why I really didn't like it. I really didn't like it because it was a bad show. There was some advertisements that hinted at another layer with some archaic Nazi occult imagery that was hinted at in a couple of the early episodes that went nowhere. Yeah, you can't see, but she's got fishnet stockings on, strutting her stuff in front of the whole town for the talent show. These types of characters. Every episode has its own filters and color palettes. So it really did seduce me and bring me in, and I had no clue as to where it was going, that it was headed straight into witchcraft. And there really isn't much explanation given. I guess you're supposed to know about Firestone and Thamos and his crown. I think I saw Avengers Infinity War. I really didn't understand what was going on in this movie. They just started flying and started shooting their pew-pew lasers at each other. There was a lot of stuff that I've seen in other shows, like there was a show called The Bubble, where people lived under a bubble. They took that idea, they made this bubble land, and they had the CIA, FBI, these people here outside of it. She was the I will risk my life and continually do incredible feats to help this white couple for no reason character. So suspension of belief is, and if you just like cutesy-faced women in scantily clad outfits dressed up as fantasy witches, this is going to be for you. I really did not enjoy the show. I don't want to say I was intrigued by how they were going to explain Cyborg Head and the fact that they were living in a 50s sitcom. And the way that they followed through on this left me flat. I really did not enjoy this. It was offensively bad. They spent a ton of money on it, and it could have been really something decent. But I really didn't like the cast of characters. The snarky smart girl, the punky brother, this guy, and the children, the two boys. I'm sure that's going to be a spinoff. One of them will get reassignment surgery. They'll travel through time with their warlock hats and magic wands. Anything having to do, like if you're a necromancer, if you're a Wiccan, if you play Dungeons and Dragons, you're gonna fucking love this. It doesn't make sense. There's no reasoning behind anything. None of the characters have any clue why any of the relevance, the events, until this one, in the second to last episode, reveals in a very horrific satanic witch episode featuring witches getting roasted and their faces turning into skeletons, which was not for kids. Again, that was the whole episode, which was supposed to explain everything. Was I'm an evil witch and I'm gonna get you, Red Witch, and they both fly They both immediately begin levitating and shooting their pew pew balls of light at each other. And this is what Disney. This is the type of stuff, this occult imagery, that Disney wants for our children. So again, I cannot recommend. If you're a millennial and you like this hypersexualized thing where everyone looks like they're about to step onto the set of a pornographic film, remove their clothes, and get going. If you're into necromancy and you're a warlock, you're gonna love this. But if you like a plot, if you like good dialogue, if you're not a fan of CGI pew battling where people for no reason begin to levitate and zoom across the screen at all speeds, making this. I've been constipated for many days and I have an impacted feces. I'm preparing to evacuate face. Perhaps you might want to find a plan B for tonight's viewing, and I would recommend this. All right, YouTube. I do appreciate your time. Thanks for popping by, and peace.